Hello, and thank you for joining us in a podcast called The Growth Journey. This is the place where you will start your personal growth and development. I'm glad you're here. I am your host, Cheryl Hart. So let me ask you this question. When someone gives you a lemon, what do you do? So let me put more context into this question when we talk about lemons. And, it can be symbolized or categorized into two things. So one is lemon can be a symbol of adversity or crisis of some sort, or a problem or a challenge or difficulties, such as what we are experiencing right now with COVID, and most of us is still in a quarantine. And number two is lemon can be symbolized or categorized as an opportunity. So people have different perspective in many ways when we look at things that is in front of us. So some see things as a threat, like something that's really affecting them in many ways, and it's also that having them to some perspective in there when they have a crisis or adversity in their life. It's very difficult to discuss sometimes, and also it's threatening them in their livelihood or anything like that. So it's really fascinating to see how other people see things in a different way compared to other people who seeing these things in a positive way. So this is what we're going to talk about today. How when someone gives you a lemon meaning it could be the adversity or crisis of some sort, or a problem, or a lemon, it could be an opportunity. So people, like I said earlier, people have different perspective in many ways when you look at things in front of us. And some of them are looking at this opportunity or a chance or a second chance for them to improve. So there are three things that I believe the reasons why people have different perspective from others. So you're gonna, if you're gonna look into this a little bit more deeper, where those perspective come from? Because there are times that we had to think about, say, hey, why did I have this type of perspective? Where did I get this from? Okay, so there are three things that I believe that are, many people like us have different perspective, and this is where they're coming from. So number one is it's based on environment. Okay, environment meaning the upbringing, our culture, and who do we surrounded ourselves most. So environment, like for example, myself, I grew up in Philippines, and a lot of, I grew up in poverty. I knew we are in that environment because since I was young, we always struggling with money and where we're gonna go to have something to eat sometimes. So those are my environment. I was upbringing, my younger years. That's what I grew up with. Everybody's the same, poor like I am, because that's how we were. And also our culture. So if you're gonna look into it, that even right now I am in Chicago. I'm living a good life now in Chicago, United States. And when I come here, it's a lot of adjustment for me because it's a different culture where I grew up with. So we have our own culture in Philippines, and when you come to United States, it's a different culture, very different ball game, and you have to adjust. You have to be adapted to it, to your environment. So those are the things that some perspective that you carry that along with you. You are bringing in your culture, and also who you surrounded with. And sometimes to those that you surrounded with, sometimes when you are learning more, and you know deep down that you can be more and to have more, and you can learn, you want to be more than where you at right now, right? So sometimes you want to change the people that you surrounded with. So in a sense that maybe right now you're surrounded with people who's very negative, that everything is a struggle, right? And very negative in a mindset that, oh, we're not gonna, this is how life is gonna be, just accept that. They don't have that growth mindset. So you probably surround that with your people right now in your environment, and more than likely you're gonna be like them. Okay, so who you surrounded with is more than likely you're gonna be like them, if only if you don't change. So the change is coming within you. You want to be more, you want to do something better, you want to do something better for yourself and for your family. But in order for you to do that, you have to change your environment. Your upbringing is already there. That's your core. And the culture, sometimes you can just learn to adapt and become flexible. Those can be changed. And also you can change the people that you're surrounded with. If you want to do better, you want to grow, you want to improve yourself, you cannot change your environment where you at. Okay, change your environment in a way that surround yourself with successful people. But I won't just say that success people means money, but I will look into it more, a little deeper. Success in their personal life. Even though they are not the billionaire or the millionaire around the area, but it seems like they are very successful. What they do, they are happy. They are satisfied. They take the life as it is, and they enjoying it, their life. I think that's more important than success in the material things. And those people who have had experiences in their life, that they can teach you about life lesson. They speak life to you. So I think that's more important for me, that I'll be surrounded with those type of people. It doesn't matter if they are not millionaire or billionaire. Of course, financially, it comes to that. When they are successful, I'm sure that financially they are up there, but there's more into it than financial. There's a lot of, it could be the family relationship, the spiritual relationship, their health, right? And how they treat people, how they are becoming the influencer of the people that they surrounded with. So I think there's more around with it in success. So those are the things that you can change. So your perspective is based on your environment, who you surround yourself with, and that's what you're gonna get your perspective on. And then the second one is, your perspective is also based on what you know. Okay, what do we know on this area about the threat, or adversity, or opportunity, crisis, problem, difficulties? What do we know about that? And do we acquire those knowledge around this based on what we have read, or what we have seen, and what some people told us, or someone have shared those experiences to us? So those are the things that also around your perspective. You might not know the subject, but you probably have read it or listened to it, to this podcast, or someone have shared with you, and and when you tied into it, oh, that makes sense. It's really speak to you, right? So the third one of perspective, where we get the perspective from, is based on our experiences and what we have learned from those experiences. Okay. So I believe that experience is the most effective way to formulate about our perspective on something. Why? Because we live with it. We felt it. We see it in our own eyes, and we are in a front row seat. We are living it. We are in the middle of it. So there's no better teachable moment than the experience itself. So those are the three things that I believe, where we get our perspective from. That's why they're all different. That's why when someone says something about their opinion or perspective of some sort, it is based on those three things. That's why it's really good to have a diversity within the team, within the company, between in your relationship, because you will learn something from them based on their environment where they grew up with, and based on what they know, and also based on what their experience. So this is why diversity is so important, not just in our corporate world or in a business world or in a workplace, and also in in when you surround yourself with different people and friends with, and you expand your network. It's really good to have those different types of variety, or exclusive or inclusive, right? So those are the things that perspective will come from. So now in our times today, like what we have today and the situation we are in, so each one of us have been given a lemon, right? So let me bring back the question. When someone gives you a lemon, what do you do? I hope you will say, well, I'll make a lemonade, which means you are one of those people who see adversity, crisis, even a problem. You see them not as it is, but you see them as an opportunity. So you're probably asking, well, I don't see it that way, but how do I do that? How can I change my perspective on looking at this adversity and crisis or whatnot, a problem or difficulties? How can I improve my thinking about that? So let me tell you that this task is not straightforward, right? It's not easy to many of us. And if it were easy, then everyone will be successful at facing this type of situation we're in. And at this, also looking at the opportunity, it takes practice to do that. So most of us, we don't know what to do, and then sometimes we don't know where to start. And however, as my mentor, John C. Maxwell, have said that just start. All you have to do is to just start, and you will figure out the rest. So just start and you will find a way. So the first time is not going to be great, and you will make mistakes, and it's sometimes even painful. And you will need to find resources and people who can help you out. So this is why we have this podcast. You continue on your learning, you continue on your intake about my perspective and someone else's perspective, and also how can we all improve. I'm just also myself is improving as I go along, and I share them with you here. So I'm glad you're here, and we're gonna expand it more in our courses that is available. Hopefully that you take advantage of those, the free program that we have, especially the 4 components of the new normal, right? And also the digital course that we have, the 15 invaluable laws of growth. And also, in addition, we will have an available membership program for you all. So we have this continue on intake of positive reinforcement for our daily lives and experience life, and what to do with it. So more into that later on. But this time, so the first time is not going to be good. And creating something out of nothing is something that most people do, and who have a entrepreneurial mindset. So I do believe now more than ever, each one of us have to have that entrepreneurial spirit and mindset. Okay, so skills like any other skills that can be learned, and this is not something that you are naturally born with. But like I said, skills that you can learn, as long as you focus on it, it can be learned by anybody. Okay. So where do we start and gain the entrepreneurial mindset? So this is where you're going to start to have that, practice that skill set. So hopefully when the time comes, when out of this quarantine, you will practice this type of, looking for more opportunity out there. So the first one is start to create or tap into your creativity. Okay. You have a brain. So I have mine too. So start there. So let's start using our brain more. I know it's probably sounds so blunt, but everybody have a brain. We have a left brain and a right brain, and the creativity comes from the left brain. So start using them more. And then the second one is figure out truly what's your talents and skills and what you're good at. So you can find out. You can find out where you can help or you can explore in that area. So you can focus on those specific talents and skills that you currently have, okay? Which will lead you to find a problem that needs solving, okay? That's the third one. This is where entrepreneur is born. People who find solutions to a problem tend to find opportunities that matches their talent and skills. And in return, they get compensated and get paid for every problem that they solve. So those are pretty much the entrepreneurial what they do. They found the problem, then they solve it. So you're gonna be that person. Now, if you wanna learn more about how to become a person that who finds solutions. So again, there's a free teaching lessons in there on the 4 components of a new normal. So it's the link in the summary notes. So feel free to grab that. And having problem is great, right? To some extent. And because you need problems, so you have something to solve. It's like, how can you forgive someone for what they did to you if you don't have someone to forgive? So you have to have that conflict with someone so you can learn how to forgive them. So that's similarly for problem. We need problems so we can find solutions, so we can create something that comes to your creativity. Plus, you will have that based on your talents and skills. Okay, so you practice to become a person who finds solutions for every problem. Okay, so lastly is, if you do not have the talent that doesn't match your skills or talent, you can find resources to solve the problem. Let's say you do not have the talent or the skills of your own resources to solve a problem. Fine, like let's say you are a lawn guy. You mow the lawn, you make it all good and pretty for the homeowners, but this specific homeowners need someone to fix their roof, and you don't have that skill set to fix the roof. So what are you gonna do? So you have to find the person who can fix their roof. Okay, so that's gonna be your job to formulate that for them, or to find someone to them. So when you find other people to solve someone else's problem, well, guess what? You will become a great resource for these people, and you will become the trustworthy advisor or an agent for them to find someone who can help them to solve the problem. So you're going to be the middleman, right? Connecting people who know something, who knows someone, who knows someone, and then you cater that so that person can solve the problem for that family, for the homeowner. So by doing so, you will then build a rapport and creativity, and you will become an influencer to many people, and it will open up more doors for you. So I think that's a great, I think that's a very unique place that you're gonna be in, and to become influencer to many people that way, and it will open up more doors for you when you do that. Okay, when you get to this point, you have plenty of opportunities that will come to you, and sometimes you don't even need to look for anything. They just come to you, and you have that abundance of these opportunities, and you will never get out of the job, or you're never out of the job or an income. And because you find some opportunities in every corner, and this is the best place to be, I think, to become that person. So to those who are out of jobs or income for a long time, are the people mostly who do not took the chance to build their own rapport and credibility and influence to others. And it is those who do not adapt to change and not flexible enough. And it's those who only think about themselves and not others. And they have a scarcity. See, I can't even pronounce it. Scarcity mindset instead of abundance mindset. And it's those who only thinks about themselves, or think about what am I going to gain instead of what am I willing to give. And to tell you the truth, most entrepreneurial people are givers, and they think abundance. So I would suggest to be like them. Find out who are your entrepreneur people around you, and see their behavior, see their personality, and see how they work with other people. But you will see, more than likely, if they are entrepreneur, they are givers, and they think abundance. They see opportunities everywhere, and you can learn this skill set from them. Okay. So it's fascinating to see that. I think now more than ever, this is why we are in this situation, so that it will reset our mind and we reset what we're doing before, it change it or improve it in a way that, there's other way that we can do to improve or to have more income or to by means to help others. So this is one of those, and I think your first step is to find that balance and have that entrepreneurial mindset or skill set that you can have on your own. Okay, so again, when someone or when life give you a lemon, then make lemonade. Do this long enough, eventually you will make lemonade stands. I hope you learned something today. I hope this had helped you and add value to you. Again, if you don't invest in your own personal growth, no one will. Take care and be well.